Okay, so familiar, comfortable class. That's today. If you feel like taking it easy, you take it easy. But if you feel like it getting into stuff, then do it, because nothing we do today is going to be revolutionary. So we're going to start with our feet parallel. It's a little bit for me as well. I'm getting my brain back into mode here. So let's start with our breath. Inhale your arms up to the ceiling, big stretch. And then exhale your arms down to your sides. And that can be whatever pace feels good. Continue as you inhale, your arms reach up. And as you exhale, they float down. We'll just check that the shoulders are easy. Hey, Mark, nice to see you. Inhaling up, awesome. And exhaling down, beautiful. This is such a nice room of breathers. Inhaling. And exhaling, good. Let's leave the arms down and just start an easy march. So just sort of like exploring your feet to begin. Feeling the toes, being aware of all of the joints in the foot, and whether you've been doing a lot of foot stuff today or not, saying hello to your feet, letting your feet feel the floor and experience the floor under the soles of your feet and under the pads of your toes. And then keep the feet active, keep them energized, and elongate your spine with your eyes looking out to the horizon. Let your breath be easy, so in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. And the arms for now are pretty relaxed. They're swinging in opposition, but we're not trying to do anything super fancy with the arms. Good, we're all marching slightly differently, and that's great. I want you just to explore your feet, find your spine, and relax your breath. Good. So keeping all those elements, lift your knees a little higher, and we're just going to activate the hip flexors a little bit more. So knees slightly higher, whatever that means for you. Feet really quiet. So as you put your foot down, try to put it down silently. Check your breath is still relaxed and your spine is still tall. Good. Keep those higher knees and swing the arms higher as well. Yeah, exactly. So now we're kind of off to the races, breathing a little bit harder, feeling a little bit more energy or asking for more energy from our bodies. The eyes are still relaxed, the brain is still relaxed, but we're breathing, marching, swinging, quiet feet as they come down. Good. And now, just for something different, we're going to do those breathing arms. So bring your arms down by your sides, but keep marching. And as you inhale, circle your arms up and out to the ceiling, and exhale, arms go down. Keep the knees lifting. 4 more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. We're going a little faster, right? 3 more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Knees high, feet quiet. Inhale, arms up, growing tall. Exhale, arms down. Last one. Inhale your arms up. Keep them up at the sky. Face your palms forward. Spread your fingers. Bend your elbows to bring your hands down above your shoulders. Press up and start pumping the arms. Good. Knees lifting high. I definitely want a little bit of circulation today, so I hope you're breathing harder, and I do hope your heart rate is increased. Good. Spreading the fingers gently. Quieter feet. We're going to take the arms out to the sides now, jab hands out to the sides of the room. Perfect. Nice deep breaths, or at least breathing. Don't have to be deep breaths. Good. Elongate the spine, tall neck. Good. You're going to start to polish a tabletop in front of you, arms going forward and back. You got it. Check your knees, lift them higher again, which takes a lot of effort, but it's okay because just about 10 more seconds and then you're done. Here we go. Keep breathing. Last 5. 4. Fasten your arms if you're feeling up to it. 3, 2. Now just drop the arms. Keep the feet. Good. Breathe in and out. We're going to repeat our breathing arms. Inhale, your arms go out to the side and up to the ceiling. Exhale, your arms go down. 2 more times. Inhale the arms up. Start to make the feet a little smaller, the knees a little lower. Last one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. Great job. Arms down. March your feet wider outside your shoulders and turn your thighs out from the hip. Ground your feet, spread your toes, and shift side to side. Here we're breathing and catching our breath just for a moment. Of course, you know it's coming probably. We're gonna hold an imaginary ball and start our infinity symbol. So no rush here. Feel free to start small or big. Noticing the knee bending over the middle of the foot so that alignment is nice through the lower limbs. Allowing for a bigger infinity symbol so that your shoulder joints are going through a pretty big range of motion, if that feels good. All of these pieces you add for yourself as much or as little as you need. Turning your torso, rotating as much or as little as it feels good. Going down and up, side to side. Good. About 10 more seconds of this nice big movement for the shoulders, a rotation for the spine. Good. You're going to transition when you're ready to a side stretch, reaching your arm by your ear, and then other side. Yeah, exactly. Just alternating a nice side stretch, not too fast or too slow, feeling a stretch, and then gently switching to the other side. Amazing. Face facing forward if you can, so that your neck spine also does just a pure side bend. Ear gently towards shoulder. Beautiful. Nice work, everybody. When you're ready, one more each side, one more on the right and then the left. And then we take a little break. Coming into the center. Heel toe your feet closer. Hands go on the hips and we'll circle the hips around like you're circling your hips inside a large hula hoop. So try to stretch the front of the hips, the sides, and the back. If it feels like if your low back is tight, it might feel good to go big and slow. So see what feels good. Then start the other direction, just checking that out, stretching the front, side, and back of the pelvis. Good, a big hula hoop. And the pelvis here gets the spotlight. It's doing the biggest part of the circle. We're going to take our hands across our chest, bring our pelvis into the center, and start drawing infinity symbols with the pelvis. And while you do your infinity symbols, plant your feet. Try not to rock off of the edges of your feet. Keep them planted. And then draw the chin gently in and lengthen the neck. And with your feet truly planted and your neck long, you might feel that you're isolating your pelvis just that little bit more than you did when you were relaxed in the feet and the neck. So keep that feeling and go the other direction, reversing your infinity symbol. Think about lengthening the neck like a swan. Think about the feet planted, making a really good footprint on your mat, right and left. Awesome work. Come into the center and sneak your fingers onto your bottom ribs. So you're sort of holding the bottom ribs. Take your feet a little bit wider here and turn your toes and knees in. We'll soften the knees. Good. Posterior and anterior tilt of the pelvis, just to explore holding the rib cage in place and moving the pelvis below it. So it's as though, like I said, all familiar stuff today, but maybe if you're feeling kind of nerdy about it, you want to see if you can actually hold your rib cage in space and let your pelvis feel like it's dangling freely below. So it's a balance between using muscles to move the pelvis, but also relaxing so the pelvis has that dangling feeling. Let's stay in our posterior tilt, but don't force it, and use your hands just to start translating right and left. Good, and this is another little exploration for yourself. So don't try to make your ribs look like mine. If you can go further, go further. And if it's smaller, do it smaller. We're going to transition our hands to our shoulders. So fingertips to the shoulders, elbows wide. Keep the pelvis in place. So imagine extra hands holding your pelvis. Good, elbows wide. And then start to unfurl your arms into your external rotation, extended wrists. And just for some fun, let's turn the arms in and out while we translate the ribs right and left. Good. It doesn't have to have a pattern. Your internal, external rotation could go faster than your ribs, or you could pair it with the translation. So play with your own brain and body and see what might be kind of fun, what might sort of tickle your brain and coordination. Awesome work. Okay, bring your hands back to your shoulders, elbows wide, translate right and stay. Good. Add a side bend to the right, including your neck. Then come out of the side bend, you should be back in your translation, and then go to the left. Translate to the left, stay for just a moment, then side bend on top of the translation, nice work, and then back to your translation to the right. So we'll go translate a little faster, side bend, translate, over to the left, translate, and side bend, come out of the side bend to the right, once more each side, translate, and side bend, nice. And out of the side bend, translate left. Last one to side bend left. Out of the side bend, come to the center, unfurl your arms. Bring them in front of your torso, right in front of your chest. Push the hands forward so the shoulder blades go wide. Heel toe your feet in underneath you. Check that your feet are sit bone distance apart. Press the arches down. Breathe. Turn the shin bones out, the thigh bones in, and breathe. Close your eyes. Line your ears up over your shoulders and line your bottom rib up with the top of your pelvis. And then take your arms up to the ceiling. I know I'm asking quite a lot of the shoulders in this stretch. So just keep going and breathing. Let the shoulder blades slide up the sides of the upper rib cage. Keep your eyes closed. Wind up your feet, shins, and thighs a little more, and then open your eyes looking straight forward. Soften the jaw, soften the sternum. Everybody keep going, breathing for another 20 seconds. And I want you, yeah, beautiful. See if you can imagine your hands could touch the ceiling and push it away, and equally push the floor down through your feet. So it's equal effort up and down. And then equal stretch right and left and front and back. Last 5. Beautiful. Really nice work. 4, 3. Nice work with the breath as well. I can see your jaws are relaxed. Let's relax one arm at a time. Relax one leg at a time. And then relax the spine. Yeah, great job. Let's meet down on the mat on our hands and knees. I just want to do some articulating cat-cows to get the spine awake. So we're going to come onto hands and knees. Just make sure your band is close by because we're going to move into the hamstring stretch shortly after. Spread your fingers out, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Good. And if you truly are lining your knees under your hips, probably your knees are going to be shorter. Your knees are going to be closer than your hands, right? Because our shoulders are wider than our hip sockets. And now starting with your tailbone, breathe in. And as you exhale, curl just your tailbone and sacrum under, and then start peeling up through the spine. So curl the low back, round the upper back, round the shoulders, the neck, and the head. So you're tucked into yourself. You're going to breathe in here. Keep your chin tucked in, uncurl your tail. So keep the chin in and start at the bottom of the spine, uncurling from bottom to top. So you get the idea. You're moving bone by bone into extension. You breathe in extension, and as you exhale, don't move the head, move the tail. Curl the tail under, curl the low back, get into those sticky and blind spots in your spine as you find your way into cat. Breathe into your flexion, and then start at the tail again. Uncurl the tail and sacrum, the lumbar spine, the lower thoracic, then mid, upper, shoulders, neck, and head. Breathing in. I'm going to watch. As you exhale, uncurl curl the tail, curl the sacrum, lumbars. Good. Take your time through those stickier spots. This is just our last one. Tucking the chin in last. Beautiful. Inhale at the top of that curve. Exhale, release the tail first. Nicely done. Great articulation, everybody. That looks excellent. Come to neutral. Once you're in your extension, come back to neutral. Let's do the elbow drop. Bend your right elbow down to the ground and look over your left shoulder. But pause for a moment and allow your sternum to rotate. So it's not so much about the neck as it is about the rib cage. And then come back to center. Inhale. And as you exhale, bend your left elbow and rotate that rib cage and the sternum to the right. Inhaling, coming back up to center. Exhale, right elbow bends down, rotate to the left. Going slow and mindful, inhale to center. Exhale, soft rib cage and sternum as you rotate them to face the right. Inhaling back to center. One more each side, right elbow bends and rotate those ribs. Rotate the shoulder girdle and then come to center. Last time with the left elbow to rotate. And then come back to center. Good. And then just sit back, take a little child's pose for a moment here. I just want you to breathe into your back. So I'm going to actually rest my forehead on my hands. Ideally, you're sitting back towards your heels with your belly resting right on your thighs. And as you breathe, you should feel your breath in the back of your rib cage and in your back body, because the belly is now restricted by the thighs. So we can feel the breath move into the back body. And I want you to notice, just for your own purposes, if there's a part of your spine that feels a little stuck or even just hard to feel. Notice what that region is for you. One more breath here. And then we'll slowly come out of that. And we're going to get our band. So we're going to do the hamstring stretch. Twice on each side is going to be nice and easy. Start lying on your back with your right foot in the band. And your left foot on the floor with the knee bent. You got it. Good. You're going to use the band to warm up your ankle. So you're just going to start to flex and point. So flex and point your foot in the band and allow the band to help you, right? It's going to help you deepen your flexion as your toes come down towards you. And then you get to push the band away to get that pointed foot. So really warming up the ankle joint and pumping some blood through the calf muscle. Okay. Next time your foot is flexed, keep it flexed. So keep the toes down, heel up. Turn your thigh bone in and out a bunch of times and see if you can feel the hip sockets being the center of the movement. So the foot is moving, but think about it coming from the top of the thigh where it meets the hip. Turning in, turning out. And next time you're turned in, stay turned in. Your foot is flexed. Take the leg across the midline, and as you do, press the back of your right hip into the ground. At this point, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Nice work. The last piece, we've turned the leg in, we've brought it across the midline. You're going to invert the foot. So slowly shine the sole of your foot more and more to face the left. You should feel that stretch increase. Keep the back of the hip down and breathe. The foot is flexed and inverted. The thigh is turned in at the hip. The back of the hip is heavy. And if you want to be really fancy, reach that right sit bone away. Long waistline on the right side. Last 5, 4, nice work everybody. 3, 2, 1, slowly release the foot. Bring the leg back, relax the thigh, relax the ankle. Now from here, put your band beside you and cross your right ankle over your left knee, and then just reach through the window, holding on behind your left thigh. So it's our classic glute stretch on the right side. We're just going to hit these 2 muscle groups in one. Flex and evert your right foot. The more you do that, the more plantar fascia is involved, so you can make it more or less intense. Bend your elbows and relax your shoulders, and that should bring your legs closer to you. And then roll your tailbone down. So it's like you're trying to stick your tail out and reach it away from your head. Relaxing the jaw and chest and breathing for just another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's relax our feet, put the left foot down and uncross the right leg, and then stretch both legs out for a second and give them a shake. So to shake both legs out, you can do the bongo drum with the knees, you can do heel rocks. And then we're going to set up for the other side. So we're going to put the left foot in the band. Band around the left foot, right foot flat with the knee bent. Nice. And once you're in place with the left foot, use the band to help you warm up your ankle. Flex and point. So we do flex and point and flex and point. Nice and basic, good movements here. Hey Eric, nice to see you. So we're gonna let the band again help us, right? The band will help you flex a little deeper and it'll give you something to push into with the ball of your foot. Get some circulation in that lower leg. Next time you're flexed, keep the foot flexed and turn the thigh in and out. Here is where we're practicing our internal and external rotation from the hip. So at the top of the thigh, that's where you want the movement coming from, right up in the hip socket. Breathing, and next time you're in internal rotation, stay. Carry the leg across the midline a little bit. Your foot is flexed, thigh is internally rotated at the hip, and now we'll slowly start to invert the foot, shining the sole of the foot to the right. And if you look up, you should see that your big toe is lower in space than your pinky. That's that nice deep inversion, a twist at the ankle. Relax your shoulders and breathe. Press down through the back of your left hip and up through your heel. Reach your left sit bone long. Hold for 5. Nice work, everybody. Don't force the eyes or anything. Keep the jaw and neck relaxed for 3, 2, 1. Let's reverse engineer. Relax the foot, bring the leg back over, relax the thigh, and then put the band beside you, cross your ankle over your right knee, and reach through to bring your right thigh in. Good, so glute stretch time. Yep, you got it. Flex and evert your feet. We're gonna bend the elbows, relax the shoulders, and relax the sternum. As you pull or tug your legs in closer, chin just very gently in, tail reaching away, like your tail is trying to unfurl down onto the mat. Just for another 5, 4, keep tugging gently, keep maintaining the stretch. And then let's slowly relax the feet, put both legs down, stretch them out and shake them out as you did before. Whatever feels good, you can do windshield washers, heel rocks, anything that moves the legs. Okay, and now we're gonna go through both of those stretches just a little faster. So grab your band. Just fewer progressions here. Put the band around the right foot. Left knee is bent, foot flat. Do 2 or 3 flex and points of the ankles. Get the ankles moving. Then keep your foot flexed and do 2 or 3 internal, external rotations of the hip socket. Exactly. Then keep the leg internally rotated. Bring it across the midline and invert your foot. That's it, exactly. So you're pushing the heel up and sinking the back of the hip down. Excellent. The leg should be a little bit across the midline. And you can add a little more of any of those elements to deepen the stretch. So you can flex your foot more or invert it more. You can press the hip down and reach the sit bone more, turn the thigh in more, but then you're always breathing. You're always relaxing the jaw for 5, 4, 3, 2, nice work, and 1. Slowly release, reverse engineer. Cross the ankle over the left knee, reach through and bring the left thigh in. We've transitioned right into our glute stretch. Relax those shoulders. And if you want to tug the legs in, bend the elbows to do it. So it's the biceps doing the work. Open that right knee wide, reach the tailbone and your right sit bone away. Breathe so that you can feel your lower ribs expand and deflate. And let's take one more breath in and out, maintaining this stretch. If you need more, reach the tailbone more. And then slowly release the feet. Left foot goes down, right foot uncrosses. Right away to the left side. Hook your band around your left foot, stretch it up to the ceiling. Nice. 3, 2 or 3, flex and point with that ankle. Then 2 or 3 internal, external rotation from the hip, keeping the foot flexed. Yeah, great job. Then keep the internal rotation, carry the leg across the midline. Invert the foot, twisting a little bit at that ankle, shining the sole of the foot to the right. And then adding a little more of each element as you need. If you're in a big stretch, then just stay here and breathe. But if the stretch starts to dissipate or ease and you want more, you sense you want more, invert the foot more or flex the ankle more. Reach the sit bone a little longer. Maybe even elongate the spine a little bit more. And we'll hold just for another 5 seconds, letting the heel reach up. And then reverse engineer your stretch. Come out of it bit by bit. Put the band beside you and cross your ankle over your knee and reach through the window. Last glute stretch on this side. Relax the collarbones and the jaw. Then use the biceps to pull the legs in. Good. Feel your 2 sit bones. Use your awareness to find your sit bones and stretch them across the room. Relaxing behind the eyes, tugging the legs closer. If you want, you can always use your left elbow to push your knee wider. Good, let's hold for just another 2 breaths. I want you to feel your breath in your lower ribs, expanding and deflating. Nice work, everybody. Let's relax those feet. Put the right foot down, uncross the left, and then stretch both legs out. Give them a nice little shake, shake, shake. A little rock, a little windshield wiper. Do your own thing for just a couple of seconds here. And then sometime in the near future, let's all meet sitting. So you can come on up to a seated position. And you're welcome to sit on something or to sit on your heels, on your bum, whatever you like. We're gonna combine 2 stretches again, and I really wanted to focus on the back body today. So we're gonna do the lats and the triceps on the same side, right and then left. So here we go. We're sitting nice and tall, spine is nice and tall. It's so nice to see all your faces, it makes me happy. We're gonna have the right arm resting over the head and you can wave hello, and then you hold on to your elbow. And you're gonna tuck your tail a little bit and reach up through the crown of your head. And we're gonna side bend to the left, keeping that right sit bone nice and heavy. So it's a nice full side bend of the spine. Then layer on a forward flexion. So almost like you would try to do a cat back in your side bend, the spine pulls back. Now your elbow, you can feel it, right? With your left fingers, pull the elbow across the top of the head, but drop the shoulder blade down and under the armpit. Breathe. You should be feeling a stretch up the right side of the back. You can play with the side bend and forward flexion as you wish. Good, everyone stay for a few more seconds. I'm gonna turn around because we're gonna transition to our triceps. So you're gonna come slowly out of the flexion and out of the side bend. Let your right hand now drop between your shoulder blades and tug your right elbow behind your head. Slight tuck of the pelvis and try to drop the sternum. So the temptation here, of course, is going to be, and I know it's intense, so just stay with me a little bit, but the temptation is going to be ribs up. We're going to try and settle, sink, nestle the ribs in and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly release your elbow. Let your arm come down. Nicely done. Okay, so in between, you can either choose just to sit and rest or you can go onto hands and knees and just do a little movement, like a little freestyle kind of cat-cow. I just want you to feel the difference between the right and left side for a moment. This is our kind of shake, shake, shake. And then you're coming back to seated position, and let's see how the left side does. So here we go, sitting on the heels. I think we're gonna do only one round on each side here, so only ones here. Left arm hangs over the top of the head, wave hello, and hold on to your elbow. Nice. Check that you're in a little posterior tilt. You basically just want the pelvis vertical. And then here we go into a side bend. So the spine goes into a side bend, ideally like kind of the whole spine. And then keep that side bend, but layer on forward flexion. So I'm trying to round, trying to kind of pull my upper back back. Use your right hand to pull that left elbow across the top of the head as the left shoulder blade wraps under the armpit. So there's a lot of good tension and pulling here, and we breathe. Yeah, you got it. You play with your side bend and your forward flexion. We're gonna come slowly out, reverse engineering. So we come out of the flexion first and then out of the side bend. We let the left hand drop down between the shoulder blades, and then see if you can line up your xiphoid process and your pubic bones. So the bottom tip of the sternum and the pubic bones, let's get the bottom tip of the sternum pointing straight down as opposed to flaring forward. So we'll hold this for 5, 4, reach the fingers down, elbow up, 3, 2, 1, and slowly, slowly releasing. Oh my gosh, the shoulders get a nice release there with the triceps. Okay, and then of course your choice, seated and relaxing, or coming onto hands and knees and just a little free form movement. Kind of, this is our upper body version of the legs shaking out. We're just letting the upper body relax. Nicely done. Okay, so let's move into our neck ELDOAs, lumbar ELDOAs, and then we'll go to the middle of the spine. So lie down on your back, and we're going to begin right in the middle of the neck. L4, C4. So here we go, lying down on the back. I have been away for a while. Bring your knees in over your chest right away and wiggle your hips out. So it sort of feels like you're walking your hips away from your back ribs. And if that doesn't make sense or feel good, then do whatever feels good with the legs tucked in. Good. If your hips don't like it, put your feet down and keep S2, the dimples of the pelvis, nice and heavy. We're going to flex and evert the feet. And instead of pushing the low back down, I want you to think about those dimples, S2. I want you to think about the dimples at the back of the pelvis getting heavier. Let the sternum get heavier, and then let the chin just come in a touch, just a hair. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Externally rotate your arms from the shoulder, and then internally rotate your arms from the shoulder. Externally rotate and internally rotate, and feel like we were doing with the hamstring stretch, feel the shoulder socket as the origin of the movement instead of the hand. So moving from the top part of the upper arm bone, the head of the humerus. Lean your arms in external rotation. Soften your eyes and look a little forward, and then push your hands up against the ceiling so you feel your shoulder blades have lifted a touch. Exhale so your sternum sinks into the ground. Turn out from the shoulder joint. Soften the jaw. Push your arms up so your shoulder blades hover. Exhale your sternum down into the ground. You should feel like you have a good foundation now. We just lengthen gently all along the neck spine. Soft jaw, and feel the head gently moving away from the shoulders. If you feel really strong today, push the arms up, sink the ribs down, and float the back of the head just a hair width off the floor, just a tiny bit. Use the arms to help you maintain that. Everybody breathe and hold 10, 15 more seconds. Adding more elements of the external rotation, the shoulder blades, the sternum, or the whole spine lengthening. Nicely done. Lower or put the hands behind the head if your head is up, and then lower your head down. Bring your arms down. Put one foot down at a time. Relax your spine, pelvis, and eyes, and let your head loll from side to side. Good, so that was our first neck ELDOA. We're gonna do a similar situation, but we're gonna do 2 ELDOAs in one. So you get a 2-for-1 deal. So bring your knees back in over your chest. We won't hold them quite as long as that last one. Flex and evert your feet. Your eyes can be looking up at the ceiling while you get set up here, but I want you to let S2 sink down, soften the xiphoid process right at the bottom of the sternum, soften the jaw. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, external rotation, extended wrists. Arc the arms back to the ears. Take your time so that your shoulders soften, so that your armpits widen, your neck and jaw are soft. Bring your arms as close to the sides of your head as you can. Sink that sternum back down into the ground, and then slide the shoulder blades up along the upper part of the rib cage. So your shoulder blades slide up and your arms get pulled overhead even more. Everybody stay. I want you to keep the arms, the eyes, the spine, focus on elongating globally. So where's your tailbone? Reach it away. Where are your sit bones? Reach them both away. And then feel the bones behind the ears going in the opposite direction. Good. If you wish, anchor the lowest rib, float the back of the head just off the floor, just for 5, 4, 3. Now listen, if your head is up, you're going to use one hand to lower it back down and then reach that arm back by your ear, both arms reaching. All together, let's take our arms up to the ceiling, rainbow them all the way down to your hips. External rotation, pushing through the heels of the palms. Yes. Depress your shoulder blades down the back of the body. Lengthen the neck, softening the jaw. Start to open the arms into a low V. Nice Christmas tree angle here. Good. Soften the sternum. Just maintain everything for a couple of breaths while you focus on globally lengthening the spine, finding the tail and sit bones, finding the bones behind the ears. Good. Last 10 seconds if you wish to hover the head. Make sure the bottom rib is your anchor. Great job. Use the arms. Turn them out from the shoulder. Last 5, 4. Longer and softer neck. 3, 2. A hand goes behind the head to lower it. Otherwise, both arms come down first. Then 1 foot at a time. Then the spine relaxes. Oh, good job. Lull the head from side to side just for a moment. Very small. And then walk the feet wide to the edges of your mat and windshield washer your knees from side to side. Beautiful work, everybody. That was really nicely done. Relax the face here, take a couple of easy breaths. And before we come to seated, let's hug the right knee into the chest and stretch the left leg long. Okay, and because this is ELDOA class, we can't just have it be this, although if you don't want to add the extra bits, that's okay. But if you do, flex your feet. Shine the soles of your feet both over to the right. So left foot is inverted, right foot is everted. Hug the knee to the chest, lengthen the spine, chin in, eyes a little bit forward. Take one more breath here. And then slowly relax the eyes, the feet, and switch sides. Bringing the left knee in and stretching the right leg out long. We're kind of squeezing the hip closed on that flexed side. We'll flex both feet. You're going to invert the right foot and evert the left foot. Elongate the spine. Notice if you're hiking your left hip up, let the left sit bone be long. Good, and reach through that long heel. One more breath into the belly. You're gonna feel it press up into that left thigh, and that's good. And then we relax the feet. Put the left foot down, relax your eyes. Good, and when you're ready, roll to your side. Coming nice and easy up to seated so that we can say hello to the lumbar spine. So while I was away, this L4 became my favorite ELDOA because it's kind of like compact and it's easy to do wherever. And it just, when my low back was just kind of randomly hurting, it just totally stopped after I did L4. So that was pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna just take us through it the way I took myself through it while I was doing it. So you're gonna have your heels in line with your sit bones. Knees are at two 90-degree angles. You can find those sit bones because that's important. And then just reach in and massage the bones behind the ears. So right at the base of the skull, behind the earlobes, feel those bones. Okay. Okay. So now you're actually going to rest your arms in your lap. And for the duration of this, you're going to close your eyes because you all know how these ELDOAs go. So just listen to the cues. And if you don't want to close your eyes, that's fine too. So we're going to line up the bones behind the ears that we were just massaging with our sit bones and try to put just a little bit more space between them. So just growing a little taller and anchoring a little more. Then find your bottom rib, the lower circumference of the rib cage, and line it up with the top of the pelvis. And for most of us, this means dropping the front ribs a little bit. If you wish, keep your eyes closed, flex your feet, evert your feet by pushing the arches of your feet away. Notice right and left. Can they do the same amount? Turn your shins out and turn your upper thighs in from the hip. And then reach your arms forward, externally rotating from the shoulder and extending the wrists. Pause to check the bones behind the ears and the sit bones are lined up. The base of the rib cage is facing the top of the pelvis. And then when you're ready, the arms start to come up towards the ears. And right away, take your focus into your low back because that's where you're working here. Arms come close to the sides of the head if possible. Shoulders easy on top, armpits long. And now L4 is the target. You're going to use your arms to pull L4 up. L4 is below the belly button, one vertebra below belly button level. Use your arms to pull L4 up. Line up your ears, sit bones, and rib cage. Wind up your ankles, knees, and thighs. If you wish to open your eyes, you can look forward or slightly down, and we'll hold for 10. 9, amazing. If you need to close your eyes to find all those elements again, do. Last 5, 4, beautiful work. 3, 2, you're gonna come out one limb at a time. So one arm and then the other arm, one leg and then the other leg. Recline on your hands for a moment, shake your legs out. Good, and we're gonna just repeat this theme for the next 2 ELDOAs in the low back, okay? So L3 is next. Put your legs in a long diamond, and while your eyes are still open, do a little practice flex of your feet because you want there to be about a centimeter of space between your heels. And it's hard to tell if your eyes are closed whether or not your feet are the right distance apart. Okay, so now relax the feet. Hands in the lap, close your eyes. Line up the bones behind the ears with the sit bones and try and create a little more distance between those two. So distance between the skull and the pelvis. Then bring the ribs right into the center. Okay, keeping the eyes closed, flex your feet. Feel your 2 ankles working. Roll the arches away from you, everting both feet. So it's like you're trying to push the arch away. Shins turn out, thighs turn in, reach your arms forward, turn the arms out from the shoulder socket and extend the wrists. And pause to check your spine, especially the rib cage centered over the pelvis. Now we're at L3 now, so right behind the belly button. Start to take your arms up to your ears, and you'll find as your arms reach for the ceiling, you can feel with your awareness that the low back is lengthening. Keep that feeling of length and decompression. Push the arms up and open them into a wide V. So the arms are opening out and wide, externally rotating from the shoulder. Use them to pull L3 off of L4. You can open your eyes if you wish, and maybe add a little more through the feet, shins turning out, thighs turning in. Maybe realign the rib cage on top of the pelvis. Maybe soften the sternum and bring the ears back. Now pull with those arms a lot. You only have 10 seconds left, so go for maximum from fingers to toes, equal through the body. Last 5, you're doing so good, nice work. 4, relax that jaw. 3, 2, the arms come into the ears, don't let go yet. Put one arm down at a time into your lap. Relax one foot and leg, and then the other foot and leg, and then recline on your hands and shake the legs out. Nicely done. So even if you're not 100% sure where that L3 is or the L4, you know, the general area behind the belly button, that's enough. You don't have to feel it exactly. That looked really good. Take your legs into a very wide V. I want you to be in an inner thigh stretch. Yeah, good. And we're all going to have a different V, right? So the reason we're doing this is because I want you to find your position for L2. So you're in a nice wide V, you're getting an inner thigh stretch. Keep your left hand down and bring your right arm up by your ear, and move your right shoulder blade up and down, just the shoulder blade, not the sternum, not the rib cage. Good, just the shoulder blade up and down. Good, and then bring that arm down and try out the left side. Sometimes one shoulder blade moves more kind of freely, glides a little bit nicer. So maybe you notice that, and that's fine. Just put it in your back pocket. Good, and then relax both arms, and then take both arms up and do both, up and down. Find your shoulder blades and notice how they pull on the tissues in your back. Nice, and then let the arms come down. And then we get to release this butt just a little bit. So bring your legs in a little bit so that the stretch is released, but your legs are still wide. Yep, perfect. Move the flesh out from under your sit bones. Good, we're gonna do this one more time. We're gonna close your eyes. Sitting tall like you're a doll sitting on the shelf. Heavy sit bones, maybe your bum is made of sand. Okay, elongating the spine. Using those landmarks behind the ears if you wish. Bringing the ribs right into the center. L2 is just above belly button level. So we're still in the low back, but a little higher than the belly button level. Reach the arms forward, setting up your arms in external rotation. Then slowly flex one foot at a time, keeping the back of the heel on the ground. Don't go so far that your hip flexors start to take over. Let your back be nice and strong. Turn your thigh bones in from the hip. Turn your shin bones out at the knee. Invert your feet to shine the soles of the feet in at each other. If you want to open your eyes and take a peek at what's going on in your body, you can. Otherwise, keep them closed and start to take the arms up towards the ears. Don't let those sit bones lift. Keep them heavy. And keep the arms as close to the sides of the head as they go. So narrow arms. Can you feel your shoulder blades? Could you locate them in your mind? Slide them up. As your shoulder blades slide up, let them pull on the tissues in the back. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Don't stop pulling. Soften your sternum, soften your jaw. Nice work, everyone. Keep breathing. I'm coming to have a closer look, but it looks excellent. Arms even closer to the ears if you have it. And we're going to hold for 10. 9, good. Even imagining internally rotating the thigh, externally rotating the shin. 3, 2, good job. Bring one arm down at a time. Then relax one leg at a time. Then relax the spine, shake the legs out. Nice work. Okay, so I have a kind of exciting finale. We're gonna go into the middle of the spine, thoracic spine. It's gonna be challenging. Don't lose heart. If you need to change your legs in order to maintain your spine, do it. It's no big deal. But we're gonna do T7 followed by T8, one after the other. And if that sounds terrifying, don't get freaked out. It's 2 minutes of our lives. We brush our teeth for longer than that. So tuck your knees in, or tuck your feet in towards your seat. Have your feet not quite touching. Good. Walk your sit bones towards your heels. And this one is all about, as my friend in climbing used to say, the power of belief. So we're just gonna use the power of belief. If you wish to close your eyes, you can. We're gonna set up the spine, ears, ribs, and sit bones. When you are ready, don't wait too long. Release one arm and then the other in front of you. External rotation, extended wrist. When you're ready, and don't wait too long, arms come up towards the ears. They hug the ears for a moment, and then they open into a V, a nice wide V. And this is it. This is T7. So externally rotate from the shoulder. Focus on the heels of your palms for a second, and imagine strings or laser beams so that you can pull the arms out from the body, right through the heels of the palms. Can you feel your pinky finger? Reach it. Can you feel your thumb, the base of your thumb? Reach it. Then push your head up to the ceiling and bring your knees an inch closer. And breathe for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep growing the spine. 5, 4, 3. Don't lose anything. Reach the arms more. Bring the knees in closer. Last 10, 9, 8. Reach the arms wide. 7, 6. That's it. 5, 4, 3. Now listen, bring your arms to your ears, narrow. Walk your feet forward, setting them a little wider apart. Good, press your arches down, shins out, thighs in. If you're telling yourself it's impossible, try it anyways. Reach up through the heels of the palms, line up the ears, ribs, and sit bones. Good, relax your jaw. Hold here and breathe. Pull the arms up. Good, take a break if you need, but then join me back in. We've got 20 seconds left. You're doing a great job. Inhale and exhale. Good, knees pointing to the ceiling. Lemniscat the legs. Yes, nicely done. Last 10, 9, 8. Lifting out of your own torso for 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring one arm down at a time. Good, no matter how that went, congratulate yourself for doing it. Relax your legs, recline, shake your legs out. Here's the part where we get to sweat a little bit and feel like circulation come back in. You did a really good job, honestly. That was a push. Let's put legs up the wall for L5S1. So that'll be our final trick for today. Good, just a nice kind of, not classics, but some classics, just the spine today, but you did a really great job. And yeah, thanks for doing those 2 in a row. Okay, so here we go. So legs at the wall, you can do your samba into the wall. Definitely give yourself at least 10 or 15 seconds just to kind of center, because sometimes when we roll onto our back from the side, we end up a little side bent or a little rotated. I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to come to the screen to have a look and see how things are going. Now, we've done every element of this ELDOA we've already done in either our stretches or the other ELDOAs. So first, we let the spine sink into the ground. Like in the neck ELDOAs, we're going to think of softening the sternum and letting the dimples of the pelvis sink. The nice thing here is that we have the wall for feedback, so you could stretch your sit bones into the wall. Okay, and then let's start with the feet. So flex your feet, just like you did in the hamstring stretch. Turn your thighs in from the hip, right up at the hip. Turn the shins out and invert the feet. And notice how you're kind of spiraling through your legs. So there's a big spiral wrapping itself around and through the legs. Arms come up to the ceiling, external rotation and extended wrists. Relaxing the eyes, maybe they stay looking forward a little bit. And then arc your arms back to your ears, letting them stay close to the sides of the head if you can. So arms close to the ears. Find your shoulder blades in your mind's eye and let them slide towards your hands. So now you're using your arms to pull on your spine, to pull on your torso. And I want you to keep pulling with the arms. If you feel like your arms are more active than your legs, give your legs a little bit of focus. Wind up those leg bones more. Good. Soften the jaw and the belly for sure. Nice. And we'll continue reaching equally from heels to hands, from tail to crown, front to back, and left to right. Good. Last 5, 4, pull with those arms. 3, make them strong. 2, and then let's take the arms up to the ceiling and let them relax down at the sides. Then release your feet, shins, thighs, pelvis, ribs, eyes, face. Good. Here's the part where you try to release as much tension as possible so that we can let all of that circulation flow back in right at the cellular level. So relaxing as deep into the body as you can, as deep into each muscle belly as you can. And then we'll just wrap up right there. So I'm going to stop the recording.